Military veterans are a vulnerable population. Many do not think of military veterans as being vulnerable. From the fatigues they wear to their discipline, military veterans seem to be the picture of strength and heroism. As civilians, this is typically what we think of when we think about military servicemen and women. The heartwarming Instagram and Facebook videos and pictures we share are adorable, but just barely scratch the surface of what it means to be a military veteran. Today, there are 19 million United States military veterans. This makes up a little bit over 7% of the total population. These brave men and women have put their lives on the line to fight for freedom, but their personal fight does not end when they return to U.S. soil. Veterans are faced with numerous hardships that can make transitioning back to civilian life extremely difficult. From chronic pain to PTSD to physical disability, returning home can be just as difficult as being on tour. Let's take a look at many of the hardships military veterans face. PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, formerly referred to as shell shock, is a disorder that occurs when a person has difficulty recovering from or witnessing a terrifying event. These events can be extremely frequent for military personnel, and symptoms of PTSD include nightmares, intrusive thoughts, and withdrawal. For some, returning home from the call of duty is due to a physical injury. These injuries can be life-altering as they require veterans to relearn how to complete simple activities such as walking or even standing. Military veterans have lost those they served with, have often lost those they serve with. Many experience survivor's guilt or depression from the loss of those they care about, and many were present for their deceased comrade's death or have been tasked with explaining what happened to the families of the fallen. Returning to civilian life is often met with a number of questions regarding what to do next, such as where should I work? Where should I spend my free time? And what do I do with the lack of structure? Each of these questions can be extremely hard for military veterans to handle. When these symptoms are left untreated, veterans' issues may compound, leading to worse overall health outcomes. Compounded stress may look different for each veteran, but some examples include substance use disorder, depression, anxiety, or even social isolation. Compounding physical and mental health issues in veterans often lead to homelessness. Today, there are 49,933 documented military veterans that are homeless. Often, this is due to undiagnosed mental health disorders. Veterans die by suicide at alarming rates as well. 20 veterans take their own life each day. The risk of dying by suicide is 22% higher among veterans, and 3 out of 4 of those who die by suicide are not receiving any mental health care at the time of their death. These previously mentioned numbers are extremely heartbreaking, and I'm sure many are wondering what can be done. It starts with healthcare professionals like these men and women in the photo above. As healthcare professionals and future healthcare professionals, we need to be educated regarding possible signs and symptoms of mental health issues in military veterans. This can be done through self-education, but it can also be done through including military-specific curricula in nursing and medical trainings. When interacting with military veterans as patients, it is important not only to be educated, but also to be empathetic and understanding of their experiences. Overall, healthcare professionals should work to build trust with their veteran patients by trusting what they say as well. As civilians, we should work to be empathetic and build trust with veterans as well. There are many ways to assist veterans both after the end of their service and throughout their lives. Let's begin with what not to do when interacting with military veterans. It is important to remember not to ask triggering questions such as, "Did you kill anyone?" or to assume they're happier at home than they were on their tour. It is also important not to ask what their plans are now that they're home, as they may not know yet, and this might be hard for them to deal with. When interacting with military veterans, it is important to welcome them home, allow them to open up to you if they desire, watch for symptoms of PTSD or other mental health disorders, include them in your life, and express appreciation for their service. It is important to be mindful that oftentimes veterans' deepest wounds cannot be physically seen. 8 to 20% of recent veterans face traumatic brain injury, which may increase thoughts of suicide and increase mental health disorders such as depression and anxiety. There is hope for military veterans, however, and we as healthcare providers and future healthcare providers can be part of this change. Together with organizations such as Battle Within, the Stay Safe Foundation, Wings for Warriors, we can help veterans live full and happy lives. After all, they've sacrificed so much for us, the citizens of the United States. Understanding and recognizing PTSD and other mental health struggles and helping veterans to overcome them is the best way to thank them for their service. Thanks for watching.